Hello and welcome to Traditional Painting the Digital Way. This is where I use digital painting apps to teach traditional painting techniques. In this video, we're going to be looking at a way to improve your drawing skills. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a photo reference and flip it upside down, and we're going to draw the entire picture without looking at it right side up. And the reason that we're doing this is because it helps you get away from your preconceived notions. I'm going to be doing this digitally, but if you want to follow along traditionally, you can use charcoal pencils and charcoal sticks and some erasers and even some white charcoal pencils. Or you can even use graphite if you want to. I'm going to be using the Infinite Painter app, and I'm going to be using all the charcoal pens and all the pencils and stuff that are in Infinite Painter. So here's the photo, and I have it upside down, and I just wanted to kind of choose a little bit of a texture surface so that we could get kind of a charcoal look. And here I'm using some of the pencils that are in Infinite Painter, and they have charcoal pencils in Infinite Painter, and they have charcoal sticks and even pastel sticks and pastel pencils. So here I'm just trying to sort of do a rough sketch of the picture. And as you can see, I've got it upside down, and I haven't, I'm not going to look at it right side up until I'm finished with the picture. And like I said in the intro, what this does is it makes you focus on the shapes of the picture instead of trying to say, oh, well, I know what eyes look like and I know what noses and mouths are supposed to look like. And so what this does is it forces you to just look at shapes, because it looks completely different when it's upside down. And so here I'm just trying to put the features in, put in the eyes and the nose and the mouth in relation to each other. But again, I'm just trying to look at the shapes, and I'm not trying to draw what I think I know here. And so you can do this with either charcoal pencils or lead pencils, graphite pencils, just something that you can erase with a little bit, because you can go back and erase this. And if you're really, really brave and you just want to try it in ballpoint pen, you can do that too. But here I just want to go ahead and be able to go back, and of course I'm doing it digitally, so I'll be able to erase anyway. But here I'm working on her hat a little bit and just trying to refine the features, the eyes, and get the relationship by looking completely at the shadows that are on her face and the lines that are on her face, and looking at the angles instead of thinking that this is a nose, this is a mouth. I'm trying to look completely at just what I see here. And so I'm working on the eye and trying to get the eyelid and the eyelashes and also the eyebrow there. And again, it's going to be a different looking shape because it's upside down. And then the hair also, I'm trying to sketch it in and just treating it as one big mass at first, and then we'll later add little highlights that make it look more individual. And I'm working on her jewelry, trying to get her earrings and her shoulder and the way the sleeve comes off the shoulder there, trying to get that put in. And again, I'm working on the shadow between the eye and the nose. And also, again, you would just look at the shadow and treat it like it's a shape. And here I'm trying to get the other eye, and you don't see very much of the other eye, but you do see a little bit of the eyelashes. I'm working on the chin and the mouth, trying to get the shapes. The mouth is going to be a little bit tricky because she has it open and you can see her teeth, and that's always tricky to do, teeth. So again, you have to sort of rely on an abstract shape. Just look at this as an abstract shape. And I'm trying to work on the shadows on the nose right now and make it an abstract shape. Also, the shadows on her face, on her chin, next to the eye, on the forehead. Just trying to sort of keep those in an abstract pattern as well, also on her neck. And just kind of switching back and forth between the eraser and the pencils and some of the charcoal in the category in Infinite Painter. And you can also use some of the smudge tools in Infinite Painter. It has smudge tools that mimic a cloth that you would use. And if you're following along traditionally, you would use just a piece of charcoal, probably a pencil. At this point, it's a pencil because you can get the fine details. You might use a little bit of vine charcoal, which is a really light charcoal, to do some of the shadows on the face. And again, I'm just working on trying to get the shapes correct. And the hat is going to be a dark black color. So I'm trying to just work on the shape of the hat. And right now I'm not trying to get any big details yet. We're just working a little bit on the shape of the brim, trying to get that correct, trying to do the hair, add in a mass of dark color for the hair. And when you're choosing a photo for this and stuff, you want to get something that kind of has a clear contrast so that you can practice doing your abstract shapes. And this one has a lot of abstract shapes in the hair and in the hat, on the also on the shoulder a little bit, and the feathers. It's feathers and beads on top of the hat, so that kind of gives you a mass of shapes. So you want to kind of work on that and just don't make any big details right now. Just kind of put the placement of where the feathers go, where the beads go, kind of get the shape of the hat. And that's what I'm trying to do here, is just figure out the shape of the brim on the hat. And I still don't quite have it right in the back. I need to round it out a little bit more. And here I'm working again on the front of the face and the mouth and a little bit under the nose, and just trying to kind of get follow the shadows and the shape of the nose there and correct it. And also on the under the nose, on the cheeks, and just trying to get kind of that sort of shape on it. And I just want to keep on refining this a little bit. But again, even though you want to cheat and flip it over, don't do it yet. Just keep on working at it as it's upside down. Don't flip the picture over yet. Don't look at it right side up. We want to keep it upside down. I know the temptation is strong to flip it over and, well, just let me look No, don't do it yet. Just keep working at it. Keep looking at the abstract shapes. Keep working on the mouth here. I'm trying to work on the mouth and the teeth. The teeth are going to be tricky because some of them are kind of in shadow. And so I would recommend watching some YouTube videos. There are portrait painters that tell you how to approach the teeth. You kind of want to use light and shadow with the teeth instead of making them a big detail. You kind of want to keep them sort of soft and subtle, and don't draw a lot of attention to them because it can really mess up your painting if you just draw the teeth and then you just have a painting with teeth sticking out there, and you don't want that. You want to de-emphasize those, but just kind of suggest them. And I'm still working on the chin. I'm trying to get the curvature of the chin right, and also on the lips there, working on it. Now I actually need to bring the mouth out a little bit wider there in the corner. And you can still kind of use the proportions for faces if you like. And the corner of the mouth always goes about halfway through the eyes. And so you can sort of use that as a reference. But again, don't turn it over. Keep everything upside down here. And here I'm just kind of trying to work on the mouth. And you want the edges of the mouth to be sort of soft. You don't want a real harsh line there. So I'm going to have to kind of work on that, smudge it out, and just try to get a soft line here. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get a soft line on the teeth and the edge of the lips, and I don't want a real hard line here for the teeth. So I'm trying to make them in shadow. Also, the bottom lip has more shadow on it than the top lip. You can still follow portrait principles even when you're painting upside down, but just keep looking at the shapes as though they were abstract, because this will help you not get the idea of how a mouth should look. And so here I've zoomed it out, and of course the teeth are way too blackened in, so I took out most of the lines in the teeth, and I'm working on it again. And even though you're looking at it upside down, this is not a surefire way that it's any easier if it's upside or if it's right side up. But like I said, this will help you get it more accurately because you're looking at the abstract shapes instead of what you think you know. So your brain sees things and they think, oh, I know, it thinks, I guess, you think, oh, I know what this looks like. But it doesn't translate into what you're drawing because you've never really looked at it. You have to really look at the line. And here I'm working on the chin, and I thought that it was a little bit too long, so I moved it up. And I'm working on the under the nose again, and just trying to get that shape, get the abstract shape there. And so I'm just kind of working on the neck area here, and trying to smudge it out because we don't want a sharp line here. We want sort of a fuzzy line here. A lost line is what they would call it when they say lost and found lines. It just means clear lines or blurry lines. And so we want a blurry line here underneath the chin, but we still want it there, and we want the shadow there to define the chin. So I'm still working on that. And also the nose, and I want to soften the nose now to kind of soften the edges of the nose. The outer edge may be a little bit more of a sharper line, but the inner edges of the nose where it hooks onto your face is soft. So, and it's kind of a shadow is what it is. So you kind of want it to be a soft edge and kind of a rounded shape. And so it shows then that that it's rising up from the face, and it's kind of a ball shape, but it's not real sharp. You don't want a real sharp, harsh line here. You want to kind of soften it. And so I'm just kind of working on that again and working on the neck. I'm trying to get the neck right. And keep in mind that the neck always goes behind the person's ears. I've seen so many people try to draw necks and they get a pencil neck because they're not drawing it right. They're making it too thin. And your neck will always go up behind your ears. Now, you can't see exactly her ears, but you can see her earring, and so you get an idea of the placement of where her ear would be, and so you try to go ahead and make the lines and the shadows and things go up behind her ear there, and the place where you know her ear is. And then I'm working a little bit more on the eyelids, and she's got makeup on, so that's a little bit of a tricky thing there, but you just kind of treat it like shadow on her eyelid. And I'm just working a little bit on all of that area, trying to get the shadow between the eyes and the nose. All that's connected, all that makes it, gives you the shape and the form of the eyes. And then this is the equivalent of stepping back and looking at your picture. But again, keep it upside down. Don't flip it over yet. We want to just keep it as an abstract look. So just go ahead and do that and check it and make some little changes. Here I'm working a little bit on the chin area again and the neck area. And this just kind of helps you get an overall look at the abstract nature of this painting. So this is the end of part 1 of our Drawing Upside Down series. And in part 2, we're going to add a whole bunch more details and just continue working on trying to get a more accurate photo. But again, we're still going to keep it upside down. So thanks everybody for watching. Thank you so much for your support. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below. And if you want to see part 2, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you later.